here a minute early, just to get it kicked off a little bit, just to get started. I wanted to welcome you to another morning ritual. Today is February 13, the day before we give thanks to our loved ones, Valentine's Day, and it's a very special day for many, and we should maybe consider celebrating it together. Tomorrow will be the last day in this room for me, right? This will become a different place for me. This will become a different location for us. We won't have the barn door in the background anymore. We won't. Good morning, Mark. Coffee time. Yeah. I really appreciate the comment you made on the Still Neighbors video. I just realized that we posted it. Yes, it got posted yesterday, and I really appreciate that. Oh, Mr. McWenna, Mr. Werner, Raul. If you guys haven't, we're just started a little early this morning, so we did a feature on our posts tab here on the channel. There is Raul's guitar. Charlene is up on the community posts section of this YouTube page here. So if you home video, shorts, live, podcasts, playlists, posts, membership, store, there are a number of posts, a number of tabs on this particular YouTube page, so you could learn a little bit more and take a look at the guitar rig that our good friend Mr. McWenna, Mr. Raul, is using in his morning ritual episodes. And for some reason, I'm not seeing any of the. I'm not able to get my live chat up and running here for some reason. So if you can just bear with me just for one moment, thank you very kindly. Let's see if getting it closer to my person makes a difference. My guess is no, but let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and tune up. Morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Raul. And we'll miss the door. Oh, you heard that part. Yeah, Robbie Smith. Good morning. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, friends. Yes, thank you for putting that out there, Jason. Impressive. Thank you very kindly. Yeah. Good morning, crew. Good morning, crew. Good morning, guitar for everyone. How's it going? Are we still, sometimes, what we do in December for resolutions, we resolve to do the things that we didn't do in the previous year. So this is the tuning fork. If you're just joining us, we're tuning up together. We're breathing. One more day we have to do it right, to get it right. We have another day to get it right. Ooh, maybe my guitar's in tune. Wouldn't that be something? This is going to be the last week in this room, so if you're here and you wanted to, say goodbye to the door, we're moving this show into the parlor, I think, next week. Sit on one of my favorite couches. I think that will be a nice, comfortable approach. I have a coffee table in there that I can. It'll be I don't know why I didn't think to do it in there before. So we have, I guess my guitar wasn't totally in tune. If you're just tuning in, we're just tuning up and we're getting ready to take off to embark on our morning ritual for guitar growth, which occurs every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're building a crew. We're building a crew. I'm not sure yet what this crew will do, but what I know is that we all have our individual goals for ourselves for 2025, and hopefully those resolutions that we made will resolve into an entire year of playing the guitar, you know, in sort of a continual basis. So I think we're pretty good to go. Morning, friends. All right. If I'm honest, it's difficult to keep up and it's hard to catch up in the afternoon, but it's really good stuff. Okay, so it's nice to try and catch up over the weekend with personal warm-ups. That's good. If you have any personal goals that you are willing to share with us, this live chat is a totally appropriate place to do that. I know it's sort of a little bit risky, and I'm working on developing that public trust, but it's, you know, if you feel like you want to share, you know, 3-month goals, where do we see ourselves in the summer, 3 short-term goals, you know, 3 long-term goals, like 5-year goals, like in my mind, are 5-year goals. You know, am I even still playing the guitar? But after, you know, coming through that New Year's resolution, I'm going to resolve to play more guitar this year. Some of us will naturally drop off, and that's okay because we'll still be able to have fun with the guitar. And others, some of us will continue on, and we'll just, you know, continue to do the 260-hour a year sort of program and see what we have for gains to show at the end. Kevin, good morning. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start right out. Fingers 3 and 4, and 1 E and a 2 E and a you know what to do E and a. Matiko, good morning. Good to have you here, Matiko. It's nice. Well, I just can't practice as much as I want due to having a 3 and 8-year-old, but it's always on my mind. I was just thinking about that this morning, you know. I was just thinking about that. So we have beautiful grandchildren now who are a little younger now. A couple little ankle biters running around. And to leave my, probably what's happened is I'm wondering, you know, because we have those visitors, should I leave my stuff laying around in the parlor and risk them getting, you know, getting damaged? And so I'm careful about that. I put everything in the case, you know, keep everything sort of out of the way. Trip hazards are gone. Let's take a look at fingers 2 and 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a Vo E and a. Yeah, I realized, I remember being, you know, in that blur, having a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, and life does grab us by the bullhorns once in a while. And I resolved to, you know, basically bring the kids and involve the kiddos, for better or worse, in everything that I was involved with. You know what I mean? We bring them fly fishing. They'd be my, like, fly fishing companion. My little big man was always ready to go. And my little big girl was always ready to go. And so when we started, founded and directed a conservatory of music for a couple of years, they were right there, and they watched all of it happen, and they learned the musical instruments, and we had our teachers teaching them, and you know, because Dad can't teach them anything. So I've found it's really fun though to you know, we're just kind of getting back to that point where in stick-to-itiveness and 𝗲𝗄𝗄, 1 and 2. That stick-to-itiveness really does pay off in the end. Just to be playing the guitar and having the kiddos witness it. You know, I bought a pile of ukuleles. You know, we bought probably 20 ukuleles for one Christmas, and then we just gave them all out. Everyone got the same gift. You know, we've got we practice Christmas in this house, and it's a very merry experience. And we thought maybe we just give everyone a ukulele, and it was exactly the same model, and it was exactly the same instrument for everybody. And now, you know, the little kids, little people run around with those things like they're rock stars all over the house. And it's just a fun thing to do. Just give them the, you know, a $20 ukulele, even $40, $50, you know. And that way when they break the tuning peg from it, it's not that painful. Do you know what I mean? But it is, I remember those days being very busy, and it's like, don't blink, man. Don't blink, because it's all done, right? So, and I used to hear all these old timers tell me that all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. 1 E and a 2 stretch, 3 and 4 and 10. Oh, that's 10 and 12. 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E. I do have some exciting news. 1 and a 2 E and a you know what to do. Now, if we want to go through this warm-up exercise, because the last thing I want to do is alienate anyone who, you know, would like to be here. And so 2 ways to do this, you know, I mean, these are the God's honest ways to approach it. You know, woodshed and practice like a banshee while we're not here together. Or we can go ahead and, you know, bring it down a few clicks. If we bring it down to 40 beats per minute, I think my metronome will get down to 40, and that's still a reasonable practice tempo. It's not unreasonable to do that. And then 50, and then we all creep up together. But I think it's you know, we'll work this out. I'm gonna dive back into the comments here in just a moment. Fingers 2 and 3, these are feeling really good and really stretched. And a 2 E and a you know what to do, E and a. Yeah, and we're just rolling through it. Yeah, the personal warm-up thing is just, we have to, what I'm finding, Marlon, good morning. Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, we end up making choices, right? I can't possibly do all of the things that I want to do in my lifetime. I mean, that's just the, you know, there's so much life to live. There's so much to see, so much to do, so much to love, so much to praise and just wonder over. The fact that, you know, anyone is here at all, you know, paying attention to the guitar is somewhat of a miracle in my mind, right? Let's do fingers 1 and 2. So we've got fingers 1 and 2 on frets 10 and 12. 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a down ba. But otherwise, it's going great. That's good. That's why this routine is so great. You'll be surprised at how much you improve with a small amount of daily practice. Keep at it, he tells himself. Oh, to be talented as Uncle Jason one day. You know, one day the goal is to you know, get way beyond where I'm at. And I definitely appreciate the sentiment for sure. But one of the things that makes, you know, contributes to my joyfulness is in knowing that there is, I'm working through Victor Wooten's book at the moment called, what's the name of that book, Raul? Yeah, here we go. Oh, I think I need to stretch after that one. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't typically stretch this early. This is all, oh, we had another busy early start, and I wanted to let you know while I'm in the stretch mode here that we do have some potentially exciting news coming up, and it might benefit all of us in this group, and you know, and possibly, you know, a large market share of guitar practitioners worldwide is my guess, right? So I have an email communication rolling with our good friend in this live chat, Mr. Tortorello, and it's a very exciting time to just be practicing the guitar. Just a wildly exciting time to be practicing the guitar, especially when we're all standing around wondering, you know, what's the point if AI is just going to basically create all of the next generation of music. And so I'm not, you know, I think I'm a firm believer that machines can aid and assist, but I really believe, maybe it's just the generation gap in me that says guitarists and musicians, like human musicians, aren't going anywhere. You know, there might be an even larger demand move as we move into the future for those of us who sort of like specialize. Like if you were a computer science engineer, you know, or computer engineer, like you know, if you know how to write and communicate in Cobalt, that might be a valuable skill to have. You know, it's one of those things that I don't think it's going anywhere. I think now more than ever, the imperfection of man becomes more important, because as computers and artificial intelligence becomes more and more perfect, the imperfection of man becomes more, it bubbles up from the bottom. It really starts to mean something new, you know, as we move forward. So I firmly believe that we have a really exciting year coming up, you know, and regardless of whatever our goal set is, you know, we're not really in a hurry. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a O. I'm going to relate it to just this finger exercises. 1 E and a 2 E and a 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's so much talent in this live chat, and just to be here practicing the guitar in a morning ritual, sort of like very focused way. You know, whether I'm keeping up, I used to show up at these bluegrass festivals, and you know, I was just starting to become interested in bluegrass, flat picking guitar, you know. And after you know, typically what will happen, this is such a great family-oriented experience, because you stay there for a couple of days, you know, a weekend or a week or whatever. You bring your git fiddles and guitars and your good attitude. And the next thing you know, you're watching, you know, some really great players that have come from outside of our local circles, and then when they're done playing that night, they're still camping out there. They're camping out there with you, just like they're on your level. They're at your same. There are tents set up all over the fairgrounds or wherever they host these things, tents. It's just a great lights, you know. People are grilling food. They're doing the kids are running everywhere. 1E and a 2E, 1 and 2 and 3. Frets 10, 11, and 12. 1E and a 2, a T and a 𝗲𝗏 and so you can run around and perform, like play with all of these musical giants that, you know, and learn from all of these wonderful, wonderful people. And the kids, turns out the kids love going. The kids love to participate in that kind of stuff. It is just wild. But, you know, as a beginner, a neophyte in any discipline or any approach, even if we're reapproaching something, which, you know, every day is a new day for me, man. But it's okay. I found it had to be okay with me because I couldn't keep up with the speed that I wanted to. I had all of these wonderful ideas, like flat picking, bluegrassy ideas, but I couldn't keep up with where they were at, you know, and so I'd strum where I could. The chords were changing like crazy timing, you know, all of these things were just happening. It was all brand new to me, you know, relatively brand new. You know, when the rubber meets the road, that's when things get real. You know, you have to drive within your own capacity, otherwise there's injury around the corner. So it's okay, I found out, it's okay to just sort of stand around with the guitar in hand and observe until you can just jump in. And that it definitely happens. It definitely happens, you know, so that's a really cool thing to look forward to for me, you know. Fingers 2 and 3, 2 and 4. Don't blink, man. That's right. I gave my nephew a uke a couple of years ago. Nice, very good. My goal is to practice 5 hours a day. Wow, that's awesome, man. 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀, I'm so glad you're here. One of my personal goals is to practice at least 5 hours a day this year. That's remarkable. Those are remarkable. Those are lofty goals. And so I wanted to speak to that a little bit. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm falling a little behind in the live chat. I apologize, but some of these points are really just resonating. They're hitting really hard this morning. Fingers 2 and 4, and we're doing the stretch. We're using frets 9 and 12. And a 1E and a 2Z and a 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 and there we go. Yeah, so what we do is we set high goals for ourselves, and sometimes I'll set up, unknowingly, I'll set up a situation for failure. And, you know, I have to become okay with failure because failure happens frequently, you know, in a lifetime. In my life for certain, you know. There's a high level potentially, there's a high level of reluctance to do anything if we're not okay with failure. So I always said, you know, just getting with the guitar for 5 minutes a day is a really important thing to do. Because then if I sit with the guitar for 5 minutes, you know, I'm there for an hour. If I can get there for 5 minutes, I can sit for an hour. And that hour will blow right by without even, you know, without even any thought. 1E and a 2E and a 1 and 3, 9 and 12. So it's a good idea to, I have to work up to those things. I have to work up to adjusting, you know, it takes me weeks to write a plan, to write a new schedule for my day-to-day operation. Like if I'm changing from, let's say I'm changing from, you know, like running high-level political activity to, you know, to playing the guitar for, you know, my daily operations, writing songs for my daily operations, you know, I have to rewrite my entire plan just for my personal plan. But now I have to, you know, consider and respect for all of the other moving parts in my life, you know, parents' health, you know, Is this going to be, you know, consistent with what my wife expects from me? Is it, you know, is it going to model good behavior for my children, you know, and their children? So there's a lot that for me that goes into like building a daily ritual, a daily practice. And then number one, like after beyond the obvious things that I just said, like the next thing I think about, is it good for the community, right? And if it's not good for the community, then I probably won't do it. Do you know what I mean? So there's that. Sometimes it gets pretty simple for me, you know, thank God, because it's 6 kids, fully grown, 12 grandchildren. Holy smokes, someday you'll play music with your grandchildren. Highlight of my life. Yeah, whoo! Now you're hitting the feels button pretty hard this morning, Mark. That's great. Can't wait to see what your nephew does with that uke, man. Keep checking in on him. I'm sure you do. I don't need to tell anybody that stuff. Good morning, Marlon. Again, yeah, don't blink. Let's go ahead and get into the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercises. 1E and a 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a 4E and a... Wanting is way more satisfying than having. Oh yeah. Dropping the wisdom bomb again. Just a wonderful time here. I have more. Wait. All right, so yeah, you can only drop so much wisdom at once, you know. You gotta let it soak for a minute. Robbie Smith, lots of laughs, yeah. Good morning. Definitely got not naked. Putting on my shoesies. There it is. Yeah, you got to get the feet dressed before we play the guitar. If you're just tuning in, I guess this is as good a time as any to welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This is the live stream where we all meet from all over the planet at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to come through a focused approach, a meaningful approach to the guitar, in which situation we find ourselves continuing to be guitarists throughout the day. That's why we do this. That's why we do this in the morning. Good. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch the 4th finger. And 1Z and 2Z, and I'm putting on my shoesies. And 1 and da da da. Stretch the old 4th finger. You will see the mad gains. Repeat after me. I will see the mad gains. I will see the mad gains this year. I will see them. I am seeing the mad gains this year. I am living out the prophecy of potential in these mad gains are delivered to my fingers and my heart and my mind. Those intentions are super important for me. You know what I mean? Those intentions that sometimes we overlook those basic, those fundamental things. And then I have to ask myself, why am I doing this if I'm not here? Am I just here going through the motions? Well, yeah, there's some truth to that. There's absolutely some truth to that. But then there's also we've got Tuckerman in here now. Black and white. Hey, Tuck. Yeah, squirrel. So there is some truth to, you know, the mechanical thing. We have to learn the mechanical thing so that we can forget it. And then, you know, practically apply our heart you know, or that music to our, whatever it is we're doing, right? So here we go, same thing, just this time we're kicking the first finger back, all right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Yeah, thumbnails. We have some thumb picking coming up too. So just, you know, stick around. But if you're just tuning in, this is a banging live chat. You're gonna love it. This is happening. This morning ritual for guitar happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are working through tuning up, we're working through breathing up, we're working through mechanicking up, you know, the mechanical process, we're working through all of those things that we decide are valuable to us as we deepen and expand our guitar practice. You know, if you open up, let's say like Guitar for Everyone, you know, would love, you know, he's a great candidate for being a guitar teacher, you know, like opening up a guitar practice and inviting others from the community to receive the good word. You know what I mean? It's just really, that's kind of like one of the angles, like one of the reasons we do what we can do, so that we can provide folk transfer to others in the community. You know, we provide that heritage, that lineage, that important culture to preserve. You know, part of that is our calling, I think. Before we jump into this we're a little bit ahead of time, and I'm going to take this time to really work out this really nice finger rolling exercise, because we're already doing 4-finger stuff. We may as well also incorporate this really beautiful technique. We're going to slow this down a little bit, okay? Because this is just too much for me. And I really want this to resonate. I really want to feel the connection as I move from one tone with the 4th fingertip here. Let me see if I can get a little closer. That fingertip is going to roll from that 12th fret, the E string, up to the A string. So you can see that I have to like smear. It's like I'm putting my little rock climbing slipper into I'm smearing my foot down so I have more place, more friction. I'm increasing the coefficient of friction so that I'm less likely to slip. But that means in order to get that string, I have to be like right up on this fingertip, which is not comfortable. It's not the usual place I would play this, right? This is really, really good stuff. So if we start with that idea on finger number 1, and we roll from that low E string, we turn this up a little bit so you can hear it well. And I'm moving from that fingertip to the same fret, just on the next contiguous string up. And then while I'm holding this note down, that second finger is arched, or barbed, or whatever you want to say, arched. Well, this first finger is like thinking he's still doing the F chord. The second finger is running point to get to the next string, and then roll. Finger point. I just want to introduce this concept today. We're not going to play through it, but this is supremely important to techniques that we're going to be looking at and examining as we jettison into the future. Okay, so here's that nice fingertip and then roll, fingertip, roll, fingertip and roll, fingertip and roll. And then what happens when we get to the top? Then we could do 2 things. We could start with so we were starting with a downstroke. Let me back this up. We have a down and then an up, right? So down and then up, and then down and up and down, up, right? And so on. So what we're doing is we're picking on the outside of those two strings. So we'll call that outside picking. On the, the next descending pattern, we could decide so that we can get develop skill in both of those areas, that we do this thing where we pick on the inside. So we have a down, and then we start with the smeared finger, anticipating where we need to be. So we might need to go and reverse engineer this a little bit. Downstroke, upstroke, which places us squarely between these two strings with a downstroke and an upstroke. So now we're picking from within the two string group. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Just wanted to plant the seed in case you're not doing this yet. We can start working this into the mix if we want. All right, we'll come back to that. We're going to begin this diagonal pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 as we reciprocate the shape into its inversion, and then we descend a pattern. Just hop down position, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can hear that we have a leash with some jingle bells on it on the back door, and so Baxter is look at this guy. Hey Baxter, what's going on? No, we missed him. But he goes over there and he rubs up against the jingle bells when he needs to go outside. In this world, Steve Clark. Good morning, Steve Clark. Yeah, we've got some great players on this channel. I'm just so happy. I build AIs for a living. Yeah, very nice. I'm missing some of what's going on, but let's go ahead and do this. 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do, E and a. Good morning, crew. In action, how like a god. A little late today, crew. We're getting hammered with snow for the next few days. Oh yeah, we're in the middle of it right now. I've been moving around since early the wee hours. We only learn from our failures in life, brother, not from our successes. Yeah. You'd think I'd be smarter. In anticipation, how like an angel. Maybe implement a scale in your warm-up. That's a great idea, RNR50. What do you have in mind? I can play this warm-up at double time now. No way I could have done that a month ago. Are you serious? That's really cool. That's great news, man. Can you play 25 or 624? Oh, 25 or 624. I can sing a little bit of it while we're warming up. If you're just jumping on this morning, what we're doing here is not in vain. It's not for vanity. It's just not. We don't want to just sit here and look good all morning, because clearly that's what's going on. But no, if you're just jumping on board, welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. We are here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for better or worse, good Lord willing, for the remainder of, for all of 2025, and we actually preceded 2025 and by a little bit. And the goal is to put in to around 260 hours of warm-up time, something like that. And then take a look back, at the first, let's go to the 4 middle strings. And a twosie and a putting on my shoesies now. There we go. And so what we're doing is we're going to take a snapshot. Some of us have already done this. Like I know Raul has recorded his videos. I've seen those videos of him following along with this morning ritual. We're going back at the end of the year, we're going to take the last video that we did. It's going to be very exciting because we're going to take that last video that we did, that we do here in 2025, and we're going to balance that and compare and contrast that against what we did in the beginning, the very first sessions that we did. We're going to take a look at how did our technique clean up? What kind of gains do we have? Are we better people? Are we better at rhythmically following and tracking the metronome? How are we with our technique? Did we have, what has 260 hours gifted us? So we are going there. 1E and a 2 bottom 4 strings and a go E and a. It's been nice to add a couple scales in this morning warm-up. Yeah, very cool. Hit the thumbs up for our teacher. Mostly crazy. Oh yeah, what's going on? Great to hear from you this morning. Thank you for being here. 𝗵𝗃, I'm hoping my kids seeing my practice is a good lesson for them as well. Let it seep into their lives and whatever, you're right. Yeah, it's a great method for sharing musical appreciation, for, fine art appreciation. Is it the same warm-up every day, or do you do chords? Yeah, so this week we're in about 5 minutes, we're shifting into my pentatonicism. And so we go through all of the mechanical chromatic warm-ups. Good question. So yes, we're always at 60 beats per minute. So it's like church, it's like a regular thing we could grow to expect. Sometimes we'll do this one, like this kind of thing. 1E and a 2E and a, we do like, we don't speed up the metronome, but we'll change subdivisions. So we'll work on quintuplets, for example, like. Just to be sure we have all of those things, under control. And then we'll skirt right back into the quarter, 16th note or whatever groupings, or triplet groupings, or, we want to be able to switch back and forth between, note subdivisions. So that's an area of study that we're going to become expert in over the next, few months, several months. Changing scales, we always will do the same, things like the technical things. We'll work on finger stretches, things like this that will help to expand our horizon. But we are ritualistically like going through chromatic style warm-ups where we have the basis where we can basically jump on board and we can participate and be somewhat clear about what to expect, but then there's always something new, right? There's always something new. That's a good question. So we have finger picking exercise, finger picking week. We have finger style week. Next week we're working, this week is Pentatonics week. And next week we're working on strumming patterns. So we're working on the picking hand, and whether it's rock strum patterns. This is gearing us up. So if we were going into the recording studio, we can prepare ourselves like mentally to lay down super clean. If we're going to walk into a Nashville studio, we want to be able to record something like super clean, right? Like think Paul Simon's Graceland album, or Daily Vincent, or think we're going to have that kind of level of awareness. I think we want to generate those high level things. So those are good questions. I appreciate those questions for certain. All right. What are we looking at for time? So we actually are getting into, we're entering the last quarter of the session. So we're going to review where we've been. Shape number 1 is 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. So we'll go ahead and work through that. 1E and a 2E and a you know what to do. Starting here in 9, 12. And then descend. Things all the time made me who I am. Absolutely. It's definitely a calling, an obsession, or both. Yeah. There's a dissertation to be written in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure, it's available. Matthews from the West Coast, he wrote a really nice textbook called the harmonic experience, you know, Matthew with a U at the end. You might dig that, Guitar for Everyone. So true, Anthony, so true. I try to be thankful and grateful for my folks. Oh yeah, like, that's one of the first things we're supposed to do is honor, you know, we want to be in a situation to honor the mother and father. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Now you're talking about some like really heavy and really deep musical concepts. All right, so there's pattern number one. We're looking at, so if we were in A minor pentatonic, if we call that pattern number one, this would be pattern number two, which would be major pentatonic. Now what we're going to do is playing that 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4, 2-4, right? We're going to playing that up and down the neck, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a, join me. The mechanics make an obsession, just good kung fu. Man, I've been wanting to study kung fu for a long time. I feel like I'd be good at it after how many times I've watched Crouching Tiger, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Kung fu, the way, or the 𝗏, yeah. True, Mark. I think of us as guitar samurai. Guitar samurai. Yeah, we're talking about getting really good at the one thing, you know, which is, it's hard, it can be a tough thing to do with all of the things that we could be doing. I learned from a mountaineer a while ago in '98. Everything that we'll ever need is right in our own backyard. Everything you ever need, like everything you ever need is in our own backyards. So that's some interesting stuff to consider. All right, position number, so this was position number one. Position number two, position number three is this one. Maybe you finger it differently, but I'm working on this shape. It's 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, stretch the 4, no problem because we've already stretched our fingers out hard. And then we move up to that only string with one note on it in this position, this shape, which is the third finger. So 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, stretch 4, 3. And then 1-4, 1-3, like the bottom of, you know, so we're taking that an octave higher. A couple octaves higher, actually, right? Let's go ahead and do this. 1 E and 2 E and you know what to do, E and Oop. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and you know what to do, and oh, I'm trying to read and do this at the same time, and it's not really working in my advantage. Sorry. Samurai guitarist, cool. Raul, children are listening, always listening. They are, yeah. It's a good thing to remember. And then the next shape we're going to end with this. We're going to wrap with this today, hopefully before Kevin has to jump. Really easy one, another easy one. So finger 1-4-1-4, 1-3-1-3, 2-4-1-4. And we're starting in position number 9 with that. 1E and a 2E and a you know what to do. Oh, let's go ahead and start up here. We'll give ourselves a little extra advantage. Position 12, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4. Here we go. 1E and a 2. Let's get a few more likes up there too. That'd be great. Oh, 1 and a 2E and a you know what to do. E and a. The bow is a lot like picking. Just simple walk, you know, just a really basic walk through the park. You know, that's all we're doing here. Not really working on patterns or, you know, we're not introducing, we're just working on walking through the park, just enjoying the sonic space. And the function and the shape, just getting that shape underneath our fingertips is what this is all about. There is nothing else in the world that is really going to matter at this moment because we're just working that shape. And tomorrow, what we'll do, we'll work on that final shape, the final one, and that will be the end. We will come to an end of our, our pentatonic week. And tomorrow will be the last session that we hold in this room. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, but we're going to take a look at what the parlor can do for us. Playing in different rooms also provides different inspirations. Different locations provide different inspirations. For example, state and national parks. Both great places to play the guitar. Maybe we'll pull some live streams this summer from some national parks. Wouldn't that be cool? This is from my time with the Jag. It's kind of fun. You live long enough, you can do a bunch of different things. Any questions? Let's see if I can catch up with some of the comments. This is great. This is great. So we've actually accomplished everything we need except for the final stretch. And then after this, we do a forward bend. After I put the guitar down, I always stand up and do a few forward bends, and then reach for the heavens, and then just kind of forward bends, and just kind of let those hang. Just do some inversions and hang time. Oh yeah, don't you just love watching young kids clean the floor with us? You know, I love it. I love it when young people are playing guitar at such high levels. And then I kind of wonder about like balance and what it took to get to that level. You know, kids, I think there's the neuroplasticity, or there's a data somewhere, maybe the CDC, or I forget where the data is, but it's kids, younger, you know, juveniles learn at 80,000 times faster than what adults would, you know, adult learners learn at. I'm not sure if that's exactly the number, but I think it's something like that. I think it's something, you know, shockingly close to that. The bow is a lot like a pick. Yeah. Oh, you play a little violin. Traded classic lessons for landscaping work. I really got the better end of the deal. One day I could build up a lesson. Oh, sadly, I was the only one able to spend 1 year working with her, but she taught me always comes back to me, and I think, wow, I couldn't do this if she hadn't taught me that. That's quite a relationship to have developed. Do you get into the John Jorgensen thing at all, where he's doing the gypsy jazz, and there's some pretty cool stuff happening there. I really enjoy watching him play, you know, and he always has fine violinists and fiddle players in that group, you know. It's a really kind of consistent sound, always well recorded. Try harp, Anthony, like harp, like harmonica. How about Piano Man? Oh, hey, we got a new face here, Manav. Put that story in the live chat. Yeah. I'm not sure which story we're talking about. I missed the Mark story. That's a good story. Hotel California. Oh, yeah. I know, I've heard that song. Oh, you know what? I've done that song on this channel a couple times. So if you go back through right here at Jason Carey Guitar, you can find that, you can easily find that session, Hotel California right here. We did it, and it's a great one. You'll love it. Let me know what you think if you find it. Like, it's fun. It's always there in the background somewhere. I just play some back porch stuff. I love the back porch stuff, man. That's Avene. Hey, Avene, good morning. Let's hear some blues. Yeah, all right. So the blues come back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to finish up with Pentatonic Week. And we're just coming from Fingerstyle Week, so I used to love those rolls that SRV would do, you know, with his just a really great player, just a beautiful guitarist. Endless energy coming from him. So let's see, is there some blues? Yeah, there's always blues, man. I'm living it, you know. I'm walking and living the blues, you know. Great tracks from Spangel. Nothing is something worth doing. Okay, cool. That's also listening is 90%, over 90% of the battle of learning music. So this is also, I love to see like recommendations for listening, like if you have anything that you've been listening to. Oh, my camera just popped out. So if you're just tuning in, I just want to close up with this. We do this every weekday morning. It's a morning ritual for guitar growth. It's every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you consider yourself invited. Bring your guitar, breathe, tune up, and practice with us, and we'll see where we get after 260 hours pass for the remainder of 2025. So we'll see you again tomorrow. I'm just going to finish up with these live chats and see where we are at, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Mark, it's fun to play. Shaking all over, nice. Your dog barks in time. Oh yeah, really? Well, they howl, they sing too. All three of them sing harmony too. One door opens, another one closes. That's a good. One door opens as one door closes. I've found that if you knock, as long as you knock, you've got to knock on the door and it will usually open to you. Crouching and hanging, yeah, that's cool. Plate eruption, you know, I love that. It's just like a really cool. Oh, we gotta get up to 12. I'm not sure what the, you know, it's to play it correctly is really a magical experience, you know. And I'm just kind of I shouldn't play it if I'm not going to take the time to do it correctly, but I appreciate you asking. Every note means something there, for sure. Edwin, I appreciate that. It's a really beautiful ask. Jason, your Still Neighbor song was awesome. Thank you for Nothing to Lose But the Blues, my friend. Yeah. So, I don't play this guitar much on the middle pickup. I'm just going to wrap it up here. I know you got to get ready to jump, Kevin. Have a wonderful day, Kevin, man. We'll see you tomorrow. There it is. There's a lot going on there, and so I appreciate you mentioning the blues. I'm sort of like a, you know, a blues enthusiast, if you will. But have a wonderful day, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're sending your guitars, you can send them with a backstory to jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com, and we will definitely look forward to featuring your guitar right here on the channel at Jason Carey Guitar. All right. And I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking. And there it is, happy picking.